something else I always wanted to do. Always wanted to do. Farming sim. So I'll wait for Farming Sim 2022 to be released. Just so on a final hurrah on Farming Sim 2019. On one of the coolest maps I think I've played on for a while, which I remember is this one. Not too fussed on. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. For cat. Could have a cap. Oh, that's a lot of caps. Too far gone now, gotta go all the way around. There we go. There we go. Not that it matters much. Ah, close enough. Oh, maybe. So, I was going to say, pretty much only DLC stuff, other than a few autoloader and extra mods. The tension belt one, that's about it. The easy development stuff is basically only on there for bugs. If there's anything that happens with the mods or anything like that, then we need to get rid of something, replace it, whatever, so it doesn't impact the actual series too much. Other than that, we have our go. So the plan is just to basically develop a fully fledged farm. So I mean, the main thing obviously is where do we want to start? So that's the map. It's not a massive map, that's why I quite like it, I think. And obviously the only field is a dead field there. Like it's withered, it's just destroyed. That's the only field on it. So that's kind of the expected start location. So we will start there. Yeah, we will actually start there in one. So what we will do is have a look at what we've got. I know there's no equipment or anything like that available. So, yeah. So we're going to need something. So that's probably going to be the tracks that we get, because oh no, there is a cheaper. Actually, that might be a better one. That'd be quite a nice starting tractor. It's about 20 grand cheaper than the other one, and only 10 horsepower difference. What will this do? We have the wide tires, they're standard. But it might be worth going for wide tires actually, just in case. But other than that, there's no real difference anyway. So I think that's probably going to be our starting tractor. The hitch looks good for small tools, so let's grab the tractor. There it is. Control-wise, you'll have to bear with me while I relearn all of the controls. And this game is renowned for being. There we go. noisy, basically, for having loud sound. So it's going to take me a possible an episode or two to figure out the ambient sounds and everything, so it's not overpowering on the video. But we shall take a massive wide berth, run over all the grass. No. And then we'll head to the farmland. It's a nice tractor, that. We'll head to the land and figure out what we need to do. Or what we've got available to us. Cruise control on. Go back to the map. So we literally just follow the road straight up. Let's do that. Go down to it's just the engine sounds. Still want to obviously be able to experience the game sounds and the map sounds and everything, but yeah, nobody actually wants to feel like they're actually sat on the top of a huge diesel tractor when they watch a YouTube video. Helps if I speed. Not used to driving this zoomed out, so it's been cool, but this is it. So we're approaching the patch of land. Click on the mini map in the bottom right. We are approaching the patch of land that we've bought. 26. So this is now land we own. So slow down. So the obvious things we're going to need straight away is tools to deal with that field, because that field is literally wasted potential. There's some logs right there, but I'm not sure it's worth buying all the gear to tow them to the yard to actually sell them yet. Oops. So we only got the one vehicle. Yes. I think we should definitely focus on dealing with that. Other than that, there's quite a substantial amount of grassland that we could bale. And oops, that's engine. That's the same problem with quiet engine sounds. I'm gonna leave them running on waste fuel. Well, at least that way we've got. This will probably be a good place to put. Yeah, I think we should do the placeables, sheds. Probably that one. Yeah, this one will fit quite nicely. And I don't know what farmhouses. I've got 370,000. I don't need plants in it. This is fine. So be careful not to use any of the actual, like, usable land. So it might be a good idea to put it somewhere like there, because we're not going to be able to do much up against those giant boulders. So now got somewhere to store stuff out of the rain, so somewhere to park the tractor if nothing else. We've got what is the start of it? I mean, yeah, the modelling on that's kind of painful, but I mean, it makes it look way nastier than it actually probably should be. I mean, I know it's basically a glorified shed, but just because you have a shed, it doesn't mean you can't get a decent mattress and clean bath. But yeah, so we shall go park this up, and then while I figure out a plan forward. Whoa, no, why aren't you steering? Lag phase. Yeah, while we figure out an actual plan and an approach, it's going to park this in here. And then we'll need to buy some more equipment. So, I shall come back when I have roughly an idea of what I want to do. And then we can go fetch the equipment we need. So, which might take a couple of trips depending on what we actually decide to do. So I shall catch you all in a second, hopefully with a plan. So, we definitely need to deal with this field. It's the only field that's predefined for us. So we absolutely need to do something with it. Obviously it needs ploughing, so that pretty much gives us the first tool we're going to have to fetch back. We need to get a move on and get it ploughed so we can actually plant something. So we shall triple check the power of this tractor again. I think it was 100. Was 100, okay. So what we need now is ploughs. 85, 150, 300, yeah, the big ones for obvious reasons. And create new fields, so that could be helpful. And create new fields, so that's what's the working width? 2 meters versus 1.2 meters, I think. 2 meters for 13 grand. 1.2 meters for 14. So I think we go with that one. It's close to the maximum our tractor can deal with. But we should be okay. So that means we've got the field ploughed. So I'm going to go fetch it, because we've got to go fetch it anyway. So may as well go fetch it. Get back, plough the field. And then we should be good to go. So, right, I do want to double check actually. There's a couple of things I wanted to double check. We've got it on start from scratch difficulty, so it should be on pretty much the hardest. Pounds, miles, acres. Yeah, radio range, loading, radio fuel, info. Yeah, that's fine. What I'm after is making sure. Trying to make this up. Weeds are on, autosave, plant growth is, withering is on, crop destruction. That's what I wanted to make sure. I did want it to be a challenge, so I did want to make sure that crop destruction was on. I always find it a bit weird with this game that if you have crop destruction off, it's like you can just charge up and down a field, just running over your own crop, doing no damage to it. I've just realised, right, so that's why it's the tractor has self-zeroing steering. Right. So what we need then is to go fix. plough, this does have no front attacher as well, so there's no ability for a counterweight on this. So we're gonna have to be careful when we pick up like seeders and fertilizers, etc., and spreaders, because even though it might have the brake horsepower to deal with it, it may not be able to cope without the ability to have a counterweight on the front. But we'll see. We're probably also as well going to have to take a hit on the first crop, because that first crop we are probably not going to be able to afford a complete fertilization and a complete weeding cycle and all that sort of stuff. So let's put that up because I can't remember the key bindings. So it's really hard to control this tractor because it just wants to zero the steering at high speed but not at low speed. Right. So we got the plough, that's cool. Right, so definitely raised. Back wheel is just about touching the floor as a support wheel, so that is a big plough for a tractor this size. Limit to fields, definitely. Yeah, I definitely want to limit it to the field. I don't want to like accidentally be butchering all of my field patterns and sizes and stuff like that. You can make a right hash of it if you don't know what you're doing. Interesting thing is whether I think this is going to be left side as well. We'll test it, but I think it'll be left side controlled. So it should be okay. I mean, I want to try and avoid, at least initially, because, you know, starting out as a farmer, we won't have the funds for it. I do want to try and avoid using hired workers unless we're doing like multi-field work and stuff like that. So I'm just going to run off the track here and try and get this lined up. I'm going to pull along the right side of the field because I'm pretty sure this thing deploys on the left. FB. Oh, okay, so it actually doesn't. It stays behind the tractor. Okay, ooh, careful not to jackknife. So... yep, crop destruction's on, look. Without a doubt. Okay, so we are now ploughing this field. Practice handling seemingly well, so that's not too bad. Let's lift it up. Okay, so it does do straight lines, so I think, since what's the turning circle like? It's actually got a pretty tight turning circle. But since it goes behind the tractor at this point, it doesn't actually matter if we do the field back to back, so I don't have to literally run the lines up and down each other in parallel. It's given that turning circle, you should easily be able to do this in a... Oh, we've got crows turning up now for the worms. So interestingly, it does seem to cause, if you don't correct it, it seems to cause a bit of drift in the tractor. That was horrifically lined up. It's a good job this is ploughing and not actually like sowing. Yeah, if this was crop sowing, the lines would be pretty horrific. So what I am probably going to do is time-lapse most of the field work, unless there's a specific reason not to. So now I've sort of got the got stuff. I missed a bit there, damn it. Now we've pretty much got stuff geared up and we know what we're doing. And I think I shall time-lapse through this and catch you at the end. I think did I just miss a weed? I did. It really is just wiggly as hell. It's like sometimes it resets and other times it doesn't. Like now look, the wheels reset. But when you're doing slow turning, the wheels don't reset. I mean, given it's been a few years since I played this, it's not too bad. I've got a little bit of a strip there that's been missed, but... I might actually, by the time you watch it, have left this bit untime-lapsed, because, like, I probably need to figure out what I'm going to do with the time-lapses, like what speed, whether it's just going to be background music or what. I must admit, I really wish Giants had done something different with the tyre tracks, because when you're in fields like this, look at the tyre track to the left of me that's just vanishing before my eyes. Just because the game only renders so many tyre impressions. I begin to wonder if I'm really bad coming only one way, or whether the field is out of square. I'm kind of hoping I'm not that bad and it's the field that's out of square. But at least the farm will look a bit better if we get rid of all this crappy withered crop. We'll just plough it straight back into the ground, hopefully get the nutrition value back up. Not going to be a bad effort to get all this prepped and done in the first day. That little patch there in the middle is forever going to haunt me as the first mistake I made in this playthrough. I am really going to want to get the balance right between, because obviously, especially when we get bigger fields, there's no conceivable way that we will be on live real-time recording for the entire management of each field. I accept that just doesn't make any sense, and that it's probably not going to be much fun for you lot. So what I will do is I'll probably have a few experiments over this episode and maybe the next episode as well, as I try and get the balance right. I mean, if you've got any feedback, feel free just to leave it and let me know what you think. while I try and sort of shuffle real-time recording versus time-lapsed. So we'll see. I'll try and get the balance right and try and get a decent continuity for the episode without massive periods of emptiness just watching a track to go up and down. Because as fun as that is for some, not everyone is going to want to spend 50 minutes. I mean, well, to be fair, not everyone's going to want to spend 2 minutes watching a YouTube video of mine, but not everyone will want to spend 50 minutes watching a tractor. That's for sure. So we do need to get the balance right. Yeah, possibly need to fell these trees as well. Depends what I have in mind. I could actually fell some trees and try and make this field a bit bigger. Right, one more strip up the middle to tidy up, and then we are done. I'm actually just going to lift it. Instead of kind of over pegging it. Big loop round. This is why it's easier to do a field split, so that the turning circle matches the field split. And now to correct the mistake I made with this mist strip. And then we will have a nicely ploughed field. And a partially dirty tractor. We are done. Field is ploughed. Nice. So, let's have a look. Go investigate said field. It needs lime, apparently. I mean, this is where things begin to spiral pretty badly. So, obviously we've got planters. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Green and yellow, keep it vaguely in keeping. Or is it just the brand? I don't mind having the brand on it. 17,000, so buy that. We will obviously have to go with... It was a big bag, wasn't it? Yeah, lime bag, okay. 2,000. Okay, so yes, that's 2,000, and the... Lizard Universal, they're all... Okay, so... Let's hop on this. Let's go collect them all. And then probably look at gathering some grass up for some easy, quick income. Plus we need to tidy up anyway. Okay, so this is going to fill it about halfway. Oh no, okay, just over halfway, but that's okay, that should hopefully be enough. Hit 3 and turn it on. Where's turn on? Well, B. Okay, so that's way wider than I was expecting. Pretty sure it only says 1.8 meters, but okay. I mean, that's cool. I can deal with that. Well, at least now we know that we can, if we ignore the bad overlap that I've done, we can do this field in probably half a bag. Let's leave that running for a second. Check. Okay, it's owned by you. It's not fertilised or weeded. Yeah, I get that, but we are potentially in a position to plant. So that moves us on to the next stage, which would be seeders. Where's seeders? That planters? No, I don't think planters is what we want, is it? Oh no, yeah, it is. Yep, it is. Oh no, this is beets, corn, sunflower seeds. We need to be able to sow fields. Okay, so that gives us a planter. Question is now, under pallet, yeah, what seeds big bag used to refill your sewing machines? We can always buy an additional bag while we're there. So we've spent nearly half of our initial outlay. A lot of that was land and equipment. I think between the land and the equipment, that's where we've spent maybe 150,000. But we are going to have a serious lag phase where we need to try and make a little bit of money while the only field we have is grow. This is going to be a lot of fun. Well, that wasn't he says as he messes it up right at the end. Yeah, I'm not trying to plant here, thanks. Yeah, so what do we want to do? I think you have to choose. Okay, so there we go, this is where it gets easy. So, select seed so we can see now. Sunflowers, it was a soybean, not sugar beet, not cotton. And sunflowers feel like more of a hardy. It's done. We're taking sunflower seeds. Oh wow, that's not even close. That's pretty insane. So let's just test the sizes. So if we unfold that, so how yes, okay, so you can fold that back up. So I need to figure out exactly how to deal with the ridge markings because they're designed to stop you running over your own crop. Right, so that is badly, but that is the field. Sunflowers are growing. So we've got a bit of a wasted double here, but I think these ridge lines should mean, as far as I know, effectively that's what it's for, is so that you can actually traverse up and down the fields. But I don't know. I might actually, ironically, have a look at what the ridging tools are for. Like, literally, properly look what they're for. So, we are going to leave the first episode here. I think that is a good start. We have got... It's not great, but we do have a field. It is planted with a crop. So that is better than nothing. And I think what we look at potentially doing next time is taking advantage of the fact that we need to tidy up the farm. So we get a mower, 90 horsepower, 80, 3.1, 4.3, or 4. I think that one possibly is the best combination. So we'll get that. Loading wagon wise, one that takes everything. There's no way in hell we can get the big boy stuff. So we've got down here 95 horsepower. And then these from the Alpine Farming Pack. 12,000 litres versus 23,000. 60 horsepower one. Because that's expensive enough as it is. Let's turn that off. I only got in this so I can zoom out. So all the grass on our land admittedly, there's not massive amounts. Like if I go to our boundary line, for example. So the boundary line is probably about here. That's still a decent amount of grass here. There's... don't run over the field. There's a decent amount of... so this doesn't count, this is not our land. But this bit here is... and actually a large portion of our land is tucked away on this hidden dirt road over here to the right. Like, there's a huge amount of actual farmable land here. But it seems like all of this is ours. Even this big chunk here at the back is all on our block. So, I think the trees will leave for now because they're so sporadic, it's probably not worth dealing with getting them out and trying to cut them up and then get the log rollers to sell them and lug them and stuff like that. But it seems a shame to create the fields and define some new fields at the back and not have taken advantage of the fact that there's all the grass there first. So we'll definitely mow it all first. If nothing else, it'll look neater. But it will provide us with a bit of income. We'll get it all cut down. And in the meantime, looks like I'm going to sleep on this manky ass bed. So, at least the outside's a real thing, not a static picture. So tempted to replace this, it's driving me insane. Having just because it's a wooden shed, it does not mean that you have to live in squalor on the inside. But never mind. I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. Right, I shall see you all next time.